Hey everyone, it's Andrew. In the last episode, we found the first piece of the rhyme that's needed to unlock Baron Von Ghoul's door. We were introduced to a few new enemies, one of which is a very buxom vampire who is going to be a major annoyance later on in the game. And now we're on our way to the second tome that is found in the stables. And you see this area is not really infested with any of the undead now. There's nothing but little spiders, and you know that makes this area very easy. The spiders are going to be quite easy to defeat, very short health. You know, one hit they're dizzy, one hit they're knocked out, but what you need to do is grab every bit of energy that's located in this area. You don't want to miss any of it. And there's a reason for that. In a few moments we're going to be introduced to a brand new enemy. And although this enemy may look to be something easy to defeat, such as one of these spiders, it's actually a little bit harder than you would think. So you've got to be very careful in this area. Now, behind this giant root is an energy boost of +5. So that should bring your health to 23 as we are introduced to the final of the regular enemies in this game. That is the worm. That is the last of the new enemies. But as you notice, I'm going to beat it up just a little bit, and it becomes invincible, grows in size, and there's a timer at its head. As you see it running towards me, you've got to get far away from it, because, as the explosion tells you, if you get caught in the blast, you will suffer. Now, don't do like I did. What you want to do is, instead of going through that gate, walk just a little bit further, and behind the bush to your right is going to be the rare tome. But I missed that. But this is the reason why you want to get all that health, because of the fact that you're going to have to deal with a bunch of worms in a closed-in space. And you're going to get, you know, possibly unlucky. Like I am just now, as that did not work in my favor at all. As I'm knocked down to 3% health and being chased by 4 different worms. Thankfully, though, none of them got me. Now, you may be wondering to yourself at this moment, why? You know, why is it the door hasn't been unlocked? You're supposed to find a key in one of the Ghoulies. Well, what you want to do is you want to walk over to this beehive. There's your worm. That's the guy that's got the key. All you got to do is smack him around, get him angry, get him to blow up, and then you should be good to go. He blows up, and then there's the key. Easy enough. And just in case you need it, there are a few more items in the area that I want to kind of show off real quick. Except for the fact that right now I'm trying to see if I can maybe find the tome and see what I might can find. Right there's an energy boost. That'll be very helpful to you. But just in case you need it, right there is a Turbo Cooper. And right here, invulnerability. So that would have been very helpful to me when I went against the worms. I chose not to get them, but those things are available to you. And just for the fun of it, I think what I may do after I beat up that mushroom is I'm going to do something else I didn't think to do. I'm going to swing the park bench, as it breaks down real easy after doing nothing. So yeah. Anyway, grab the Turbo Cooper for some reason and run in through this door. And that brings us to the inside of the Dunfiddlin Cottage. Now, the rare tome in here is located in that freezer to the left. And again, I missed it. But we're going to come back for it shortly. I'll show everyone where it's at in another video. And we'll go back and we'll grab the things that we missed. But, you know, go around, break some of these items, see if you can find anything that would be helpful inside of them. Really wish bread would actually be a weapon in this game, because then you could say that you took part in assault with a breadly weapon. Don't worry, you'll get it in a moment. But what you kind of want to do here, starting out, is go ahead and break a few of the things that are around the area, because you're going to need a few of the you're going to want a few of these helpful items for the battles. And yes, I said battles that are upcoming. Yes, by the way, there's Bottle's family on the wall, just in case you didn't notice it. But you're going to especially want that super weapons that we unlocked out of the wood a moment ago. That invincibility is going to be helpful. And then we unlock the warlock, who, well, he's busy being a warlock. And you have to defeat him in 20 hits. So you have to beat him within 20 attacks. That's why you want the super weapons, because of the fact that, and you're not going to see this with me because of the fact that I really don't do a good job with it. You could grab that challenge complete if you wanted. I wouldn't recommend it at this moment. For some reason the screen locked up there for a few seconds. But that's why you want the super weapons. You're able to hit him, and for some reason I decided to break the wardrobe. But you're able to get a few shots in on some of the weaponry that's in the area without them breaking down. That's going to be very helpful to you. But all you got to do is be patient with the weapons that are available. Let him fire off his shots, and then let him teleport away. Rinse, lather, and repeat. He's not too difficult of an enemy. As you see, I've got him knocked down to 1 health now. I have 9 hits left. You shouldn't have much trouble with this. Now, there's a reason why, though, this challenge could be extremely problematic for you. Not because of the fact that you get hit by his blast like I just did, but for one specific reason that I'll show you in just a moment. But with that, we've got the challenge complete. The warlock is down, and hey, we're having a good time now. And just in case you need it, there is as far as the soup can that helps you not really a one-hit wonder, but knock down enemies. More pictures of the Boggy's family. But did you notice, if you look over in the chest right there, there's like a guy in it trying to get out. And Dunfiddlin's bed is right in front of it, and I can't help but wonder, how is it Dunfiddlin never noticed the fact that there was some guy trapped in a chest in front of his bed? Wouldn't the knocking late at night have tipped him off to the fact that something weird was going on? Maybe I'm looking just a little bit too deeply into this, but that's something that's kind of bugged me. But, you notice the fact that you've got the way that was set up is you had to kill every other enemy. By the way, the freezer's now open. Those zombies burst out of the freezer, and then you can go collect the rare tome. I, of course, didn't go do that. I really should have, but we'll have time to do that later. Anyway. We'll go into the next room in just a moment. But the next room is one of my least favorites in the entire game. It's the workshop. Yay. We had troubles in it the first time that we did this, and we're going to have troubles now. And there's a reason for this. What you want to do is, before the challenge has the opportunity to start, you kind of try to stay in the area that I'm in. I found that it works best for me being in this one little area and trying not to move around a whole lot unless I have to. But go around and break some of these vases. There's some Mini Cooper soup cans to be found. There's some health. And you're going to need those for the battle that you're about to fight. Now, don't make the same mistake I did. There's a vase right there that has imps on it. Yeah, I did that. I set free a cursed mummy with a group of skeletons. I have to survive for 1 minute and 30 seconds with skeletons and a cursed zombie, and I'm already down to 7 health. Can you guess whether or not I'm going to make it through this or not? Just in case, there's your answer, as I get vased. So we're going to retry this again, and we're going to try our best not to fail. Again, I'm going to say we're going to try our best. I can't guarantee that that's going to happen. But, what you want to do is take the vase with the imps and throw it in the fire. There, he can't spawn out of what is not there. Now, there is another vase that is hidden in this room that a cursed mummy will pop out of, and we're going to see him shortly. But this way you have knocked out one of the cursed mummies that was in the room, and so you're going to have less that you've got to worry about. So this is actually in your best interest to do it like this. But you got a minute and 30 seconds. You've got a number of skeletons that are going to be appearing, and they're going to keep respawning. So you've got to watch where you're going. You've got to try your best not to get surrounded. And if you can make use of the Mini Coopers and make use of the health that's available, you should do that. One of the mistakes that I make here is that I don't make use necessarily of everything that's available to me. By the way, apparently that was my little miniature clone that did that to me. So you've got to be careful. They can hurt you. But watch out. The skeletons will grab weaponry. They will do a lot to harm your character. When you see them with the bulb above their heads, that means that they're thinking about grabbing a weapon, and they know where to find something, and there you go. Cursed Mummy. 24 seconds left. Cursed Mummy appears. Get him in the fire as fast as you can. So, I got 15 seconds left. I get nailed with another potted plant. I'm at 4 health. And I've got a number of skeletons, 3 health, a number of skeletons, 2 health. And one of the skeletons decides to grab a shovel, and the challenge decides that it wants to end. And I need to hurry up and take the skeletons out. Thankfully, though, there is 1 skeleton there. The Mini Cooper has taken out the other skeletons, save for 1. And Cooper's attacks don't always work in your favor. As you can see, we have him... Finally, he's taken out with a double axe handle. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to walk around and we're going to look at some of the items that are available. Go ahead and scare me. I don't care, woman. There's nothing to hurt me. That one-hit wonder is going to be very helpful to you. I didn't use it, but it's something that could be helpful to you in the future. Or rather, helpful you do in this challenge. But if you want to get the rare tome, there's a certain thing that you've got to do. You see me just kind of walking around and breaking pots to kind of show off what's in them. You notice looks kind of like like the freezer from the last room, but not quite the freezer. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break that door in. Or break down the door. There's a trader soup can. Another thing that would be helpful to you, turning the skeletons and everything else against each other. But right there's the room over to my right. You're going to want to kick that door in, and all of those things pop out. But once you've done that, you see the big pot that's in the room. You want to take that big pot, and you want to smash it open. And I almost did not do that. I figured there were enough, as far as the enemies in the room didn't do a whole lot, but there's also a freeze can in there, which would have been very helpful. There's a lot of stuff in these rooms if you look for them. I just didn't look for them. But we're done with the workshop. Yay! Now we move on to the farmhouse. And in my initial test run, I like to have drove myself crazy trying to get through this area because I don't like the Johnny and Clyde. It's an aggravation and a half because, if he gets angry and he grabs you, he kills you. It's like 10 health gone right then and there. But once he starts indicating that he wants to grab you, you can knock him down. And right there is a one-hit wonder. Take those guys out in one hit, grab the Turbo Cooper that's beside it, and run to this guy right here. And he tried to grab me, and for somehow, I don't know how, he wasn't able to get me. I'm glad that he wasn't able to get me, but for some reason he was not able to. But the one-hit wonder does not last long, and so you got that taken care of. I'm going to skip ahead to the moment where you're able to, where the tome is located, because I meander around here a little bit trying to find it. And we're back as I have a V8 moment and realize there's one item I have not defeated. There with the worms is the rare tome. Grab it and run. let the worms blow themselves up, and then we move on to the next room, which is not the stables. The next room is the the foundry. And the foundry's a fun little room. The foundry is fun because of the fact that, well, it's kind of an aggravation as well. Your first challenge is you can't kill anything, and you have to find the key. So, there are no actual enemies out in the open. They're hidden in certain destructible items. So, yeah, lovely. You have to try to figure out where the key is located. And just in case you mess up, there's a Grim Reaper dizziness in case you kill something, but there's where your rare tome is at, right in that little item. And so now I don't know what to break open, and I'm kind of afraid to. So I kind of decide to pick this random barrel that's right in front of me, and I lucked out somehow. I lucked out because of the fact I did not die.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, Cooper. Celebrate for once. You actually earned that. But from there, we have a new challenge. It's a haunted door, and you have to kill the haunted door in 50 seconds. Now, if you get lucky like I did, and you're able to beat up the, go through that without fighting one enemy, there's a number of throwable items that you can lob at the door. And so if you take the opportunity to do that, there's an anvil right there, which Cooper is the strongest man alive to be able to pick up the anvil. But notice that's one of the reasons why you don't attack it while it's down. I didn't realize that. When it's red, you can't harm it, and then it'll swat you into the air and then try to swing at you like it's a baseball bat. If you're in a confined space, it will swing 2 to 3 times and do a great amount of damage, so make sure you don't do that. But now we enter into the stables, which is where the third item is located. And we get to meet up with my favorite character now. Look, it's Mr. Ribs, and we'll talk to him in just a second, as we accidentally let out a fire imp. But you want to grab that shocker blocker. And I love Mr. Ribs' voice. Just the little sounds that he makes. I don't know why, but I just like the way the little guy sounds with his doodly-doo. I'm a fan of Mr. Rib. I'm a fan of his. And the cool thing is, he plays an important role a little bit later on in the game. No spoilers, but what you want to do here in the stables is, as you can see, I'm breaking apart parts of the wall to get through because everything's blocked off. You also notice that I'm breaking barrels as I come across them. And there's a reason that I'm breaking these barrels. The reason I'm doing that is they're filled with fire imps. And if you don't break these items now, on your way back out, you're going to have to fight more. You see, 1 is flying out. 2, 3, 4 of them will come out all at once if you don't take the time to break them now. So I would make that a good practice and do that, and you'll see the reason why in just a few moments why I did that. But there's a barrel I missed, and it's going to take a few moments for that fire imp to get to me, so I'll get to him in just a few moments. I'm not going to worry about him right now, but yeah, he's trying to make his way to me. I'm going to give him a moment to come. I mean, he wants to get to me. He wants to fight me. He can die. That's fine. But just break the barrels. Make sure that you're not blocked by something, and make sure you actually kill them when you do it. But the reason why you grab the shocker blocker is right here. It's Slimer's ugly cousin. He tries to scare you, but the shocker blocker will finish that off for you. No problems. So, no harm, no foul there. But, really and truly, these spiders are easy to defeat, and I'm not able to defeat Ugly Shrek. But even when I'm scared, these little guys ended up hurting each other. And all you have to do is tap the right stick, swing the item, and they die immediately. So we've already got the rare tome, but there's the next piece of the rhyme. Yeah, we're actually worth something according to Crivens. But now we're heading to Dr. Crackpot's lab, the guy that transformed our girlfriend into a monster. And this is the reason why I told you to break the barrels. The rules of this are you can't take any damage, you can't break anything, and you've got 1 minute and 30 seconds to make it to the door before the Grim Reaper comes. And you can't use the fire extinguisher against him. But had you not done that, as you're trying to run through this, the barrels would have exploded like that one, and instead of having 1 in it, it probably would have had about 2 or 3. In my trial playthrough, that's what happened. So, you do the freeze, you grab the Turbo Cooper, you've really only got 3 guys to deal with, and so it's not that difficult. But as we make it to the door, we're going to stop right here because of the fact that we got the next piece. But in the next episode, we're going to go to Dr. Crackpot's lab. See you then.